We're going to do a different version of polvorones. Many people call them Mexican wedding cakes. Wedding cakes. You can do them with pecans, walnuts, almonds. You can do a variety of 3 nuts together. The nuttier the better. What we have done is bake for approximately 10 minutes a cup of pecan halves. And you're just going to toast them. You don't want to burn them. And you shake them in between the 10 minutes so they don't burn. We're going to put it into a food processor with a blade. And you're going to mix this with 1 cup of pecans, 2 cups of confectioner's sugar, and 2.5 cups of flour with a pinch of salt. But actually it's 2 pinches of salt, so a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So put your pecans in. 2 pinches of salt, 2 cups of confectioner's sugar, and we're going to pulse this all together, and it's going to make a dough, and we're going to chill the dough overnight, and then we're going to make little scoops of little pecan puff balls. This will require a teaspoon of vanilla extract as well. But first we're going to pulse this together. This also will require 2 cups of butter, room temperature. This is a double recipe. Here for baking is always unsalted butter, and if it ever requires salt, you can always just add a pinch. It's pulsed. We're going to add the butter. Add the butter, then the vanilla extract. You can use unsalted butter or flavored shortening. Again, if you do use flavored shortening, since it is a cup, it's 2 tablespoons of water. So we're going to put in the butter while the processor is running. You can lower the speed. Butter flavored shortening. So now it's going to look like a big mush dough. Now add your flour. Going to scrape down the sides. It smells quite heavenly since it's with pecans. Now again, you don't have to do just pecans, but it's a cup of nuts. So if you want to do some macadamias to add some different richness, or walnuts or almonds, you can. Actually 3.5 cups of flour we're going to add. We have 2 cups of butter, some water if you're using butter flavored shortening, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a cup of pecans or whatever nuts that were toasted for 10 minutes in a 350 oven, cups of confectioner's sugar, and 3.5 cups of flour with a teaspoon of vanilla that we put through the processor. And now we're going to chill this dough, and then once the dough has been chilled, we'll form it into little pecan balls, puff balls, and bake them at 350 until the bottom of the cookie is toasted. And then we'll dip in some more confectioner's sugar. And this are our Mexican wedding cakes. I'm going to finish up our Mexican wedding cakes, pecan puff balls, whatever you want to call them. They're almost like you want to call them, but we have toasted a cup of our favorite nuts. This is from pecans. You can do a mixture of half and half or 3 varieties. We have the batter stay overnight in the refrigerator. The oven is set at 350. A tablespoon size ice cream scooper, cookie scooper. And you're going to mix them and bake them for approximately 9 minutes until the bottom again is toasted. The bottom will be toasted, the top will have small cracks, and then once they cool a little bit, we will dip them in confectioner's sugar. So, roll them up. Here's your perfect little ball. And we're going to repeat this process until we fill up our cookie sheet. And if you don't have a cookie scooper that's a tablespoon size, you can take a tablespoon and do that as well. I did say 9 to 10 minutes. No, we're going to do them for 15 minutes. Sorry about that. Still thinking about the candy canes. So 15 minutes until the bottoms have browned. Cooled slightly. We will dip them in confectioner sugar so they look like little snowballs, or as some of my friends call them, puff balls, because when you eat them, the sugar or the confectioner sugar just goes everywhere. Our first batch, put them in the oven 15 minutes until the bottom has baked. The bottom will be brown, and you'll see the edges of the bottom brown. The tops will have little cracks, not all of them, but some of them. And then we will dip them, once they've cooled slightly, in some confectioner sugar. So, I'll see you in 15. They are out of the oven, as you see, slightly cracked on the top, browned around the edges. We let these cool. They're not as flat, but we've let them cool. And then we cover them up with some confectioner sugar. And there you have it. It's hard to see, but they're awfully delicious. There you go. And there you have it. A Mexican wedding cake, a pecan, puff ball, whatever you want to call it. They're almost like polvorones. I hope you enjoyed making your pecan Mexican wedding cakes, little cookie cakes. Enjoy! And then a polvoron, due to the weight of the nuts. And you covered them in powdered sugar. And here you have your snowball, pecan, whatever you want to call them, awfully good cookies for the holidays or at any time. Enjoy! Buen provecho!